You also have to take Calc 1 through 3.
Do a lot of people drop out of engineering?
And, like, you get through it eventually. Some people have to take it a few times.
Oh, yeah, I meant to ask about that. Shoot.
I think it depends on your personality.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess first of all, we could probably just, like, introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So, I'm Michaela, and I make...
And cut.
Hello, so I'm Michaela, and I make academic videos, and I made recently a pre-med video with my friend at college, so now I'm here today with my cousin.
Hi, I'm Megan. I'm an engineer. I am in college right now to become an engineer, and I am here to talk about my experience.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess first of all, like, what are your specific... Because, like, your whole college experience has been, like...
Chaotic.
It's been so chaotic. So, like, what are your two majors that you're about to graduate with, and, like, all the times that you've switched and everything?
So,
like, background.
I started in mechanical engineering, and then I decided to switch to biomedical engineering, but I kept the minor in mechanical. So I'm graduating next year with a degree in biomedical engineering, and then I'm also working on my master's in mechanical at the same time.
Is that, like, are a lot of people able to do that? Or is that, like, common at UMaine?
No, and it, like, even at UMaine, like, the grad school is a little upset with me doing it that way, but, like,
it's so uncomfortable.
But there are, like, 4+1 programs, so you can get your master's started in your undergrad and then just do one extra year after.
Like, do you kind of, like, feel like you have to do the master? Like, if you graduated with just the bachelor's degree, would you be able to get a job in engineering, or is it, like, is that a huge no-no?
I think, yeah, you can automatically get a job. The best thing about engineering is that I think 99% of students who come out of, like, the year after they graduate, they have a job. Mm-hmm. Like, it's pretty much automatic. You can get a job almost anywhere. And if you have a degree in something like mechanical, you can just get a job in almost anything. Like, I think they more just look at, like, you were disciplined, you worked hard for 4 years. You want to do data analysis? Sure.
Like, it's a challenging... Like, they know that if you've done it, you have, like, that skill set to be able to do these hard jobs.
Yeah. I was graduating with biomed, so I was a little bit more wary about getting a job, because, like, biomed, you either go, like, most people go to med school.
Yeah.
Or they go into, like, research. And I didn't really want to do either of those. I wanted to go more into industry.
Yeah.
So I did want to do the master's in mechanical, so I had more options.
Engineering's got to be, like, one of the most job-secure majors you could do then, right? Like,
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I could do anything with it. Like, if I wanted to go into, like, construction. Like, I literally could do almost anything with it.
And, like, even things that are so unrelated, just, like, having that on your resume. Like, if I were to go into... you know, an engineering place with creative writing, they would be like, no way. But, like, you could walk into, like, a publishing industry kind of, and you could still even get a job in the publishing industry, because they would know, like, oh, if you've done engineering, you're smart. Like, you can work here.
A lot of engineers suck at writing, so maybe they don't want us there. I think a lot of people go into business afterwards. They'll go to engineering school, like, get their bachelor's, and then go get their MBA right after. Yeah. Start a business. Like, you can do pretty much anything.
Do they do that? Like, is it because they just like business and want to do that more? Is it because, like, engineering they realize is too daunting? Like, I guess that actually, do a lot of people drop out of engineering?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So many. Like, my freshman year was probably, like, I knew, like, 5-6 kids who dropped out within the first year. It's hard, and, like, it's not for everyone, and if you don't want to have that discipline, it's just not going to work for you. Like, some kids would rather party through college, and if that's what you want to do, like, I mean, you do have a, like, school life balance still. Yeah. But you're spending a lot of time on, like, homework and studying. Stuff like that. Because,
I mean, like, I know when we, like, FaceTime during the school year, you're straddling, like, both schoolwork and then also you have your tissue research and everything. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, like, seems like... Not tissue. Wait.
The...
Wood.
Nanomaterial.
I'm getting things mixed up in my head.
I did want to go into tissue engineering.
I know. I was like, wait a second. That's not right. Was it the challenge of engineering that made you want to do it, or, like, the job security, or, you know, like, the future salary? Because, like, engineers, well, how much do engineers make?
Starting is $60,000 a year.
Okay, that's really good starting. Oh my gosh.
It's decent. It's very nice.
It's very decent.
And then it goes, after 10 years, you're probably at $100K.
Yeah, and like, I feel like I've even heard, like, can't a lot of them make more than, like, 200,000, 300,000?
Yeah, it depends how like specialized you get into something.
Yeah.
And then also if you do that business route again, like if you start your own engineering firm, you're making way more.
Okay.
If you're in civil engineering or something and you run a consulting firm, it's limitless.
Is there like different fields of engineering that make more money, like research versus like actually doing the hands-on stuff?
So research typically makes less, depending on where you are. I think it's all like kind of subjective.
Yeah.
But if you go into like academia and stuff, you're making a teacher's salary.
Yeah.
And then you can do research on top of that to make more money, but it's based off like publications and like how much research you're pumping out. Like, so it's very dependent on that. But like if you're in industry, I think it's more like stable the amount that you're making, but you can make more.
Okay. There's all sorts of potential. So what are like the base requirements that you have to do for the bachelor's in engineering?
So everyone takes like physics 1, physics 2, they do chem 1, chem 2. You have to do some type of, typically like a writing tech elective, so you learn how to write like resumes, covers letters, memos, that kind of thing. You also have to take calc 1 through 3, then differential equations. And then you take statistics after that, and then it starts to get like specialized. So after your like sophomore year, you start to, like, everyone pretty much takes the same classes freshman and sophomore year, unless you're in like bio, and then you take like a anatomy class, or like if you're in mechanical you take a strength of materials. Like after sophomore year it gets more specialized.
If I tried, I would be one of those students that drops out. Literally. Like when you said like differential equations, I'm like, oh my god, I could not.
Yeah, but freshman year they pack you with 18 credits per semester. So
and wait, what is that? Because you're at University of Maine, so I feel like, I don't know if we mentioned that. Did we mention that?
I go to UMaine.
Yeah. So like, is that like, what does that mean? Like, how many classes per?
So each class is typically 3. Unless you have like a lab, then it's 3 + 1 or something. So if you're taking an 18 credit semester, that's 6 classes. I have an engineer cutting on my fingers. That's one thing with engineering. You use a calculator a lot. Like, I have lost all ability to like not count on my fingers. It's fine.
No, that was like, oh my gosh, I've gotten so used to, because my calculator broke. I got so used to using my laptop computer, laptop calculator, that like not only can I not do math like without a calculator now, I'm so bad on like a normal calculator. I gotta like do the typing in on my laptop, and it takes me so long. Like I was in a group for my last class that I took, exoplanets, this last spring. Every time I was doing my equations, I was just taking longer than them because I'm like typing in.
You need like a good scientific one.
I have like a TI-84, I think.
That's what I have.
But like the batteries were dead, so it just sat uselessly in my drawer all year. So like of all those requirements that like kind of everyone takes, here's like a whole laundry list for you. The most fun, least fun, most hard, probably not most easy, so least hard.
I like chemistry.
Really?
A lot of people don't. If you like physics, you typically go into mechanical, civil, electrical.
Okay.
If you like chemistry, you go into chemical engineering or biomedical engineering. So you almost see that immediate divide when you're taking those freshman year classes.
Okay.
I was in mechanical, but I loved chemistry classes. So I was like, oh, I should probably go into biomed, because everyone's saying like, oh, they love physics. That was my hardest class. Physics 1 was fine because it was like high school. That was definitely my hardest class. Physics 2. Easiest class, I took a drawing class freshman year. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing. I sat there for 3 hours every day and drew. Like,
That's so nice.
I loved it.
I wanted to take a drawing class, and like I was looking at the course list, and it was all like fundamentals in art on 3D objects or on 2-dimensional space. I'm like, where's just like drawing?
Yeah, we had that too, and then they had like drawing 1, drawing, but you couldn't take painting 1 until you took prereqs. And I was like, what?
So you have to do drawing before you can do painting?
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah,
why is that a prereq? They're so different.
Drawing was my favorite. Or easiest. I don't want to say easy. It did take me a lot of time to do those drawings.
But you're naturally very good. I've seen your drawings, and you're naturally very good at it. So.
Thanks. All right, let's say easiest engineering class. I think statics. So it's like how
Statics.
So if you have like a metal beam and you put a like pressure on the top, so like say you're building a building and you have a metal beam and you're putting pressure down on the side, you need to know how it bends and at what point it's gonna like break.
Okay, so is this like a class that a lot of architecture majors are saying to take? Like, is it just for
civil.
buildings, or is it applied to other things?
Well, it applies to like machines too.
Okay.
So like if you were like building a engine, you need to know how like the metal is going to react to like different motions and stuff like that. I thought that was super interesting, and it might just be because my teacher was amazing. So that was the easiest engineering class. Hardest physics 2, most fun and least fun.
Sorry, it's like a whole lot. I'm like asking you like recall so many classes.
I'm trying to think of what classes I took. Least fun, any of the calculuses. Oh my, I'm not a calc person. Those were hard. They weren't fun. It's just like something you have to get through. And once you do.
Like, I feel like every STEM person like has that rite of passage of calculus.
Yeah. And like you get through it eventually. Some people had to take it a few times. I took calc 1 3 times.
That sounds like a nightmare.
I took it twice in high school and once in college. I knew it really well by then.
Yeah, you're like, I can be a TA in calculus.
Yeah, I'm a pro now. My favorite class, like most exciting, anatomy. I took an anatomy lab with it, and we got to dissect things.
Okay. And you said that was a requirement for engineering, or was it
for biomed?
Biomed. Okay, that would make sense.
Yeah, and then all the pre-meds take that too. And
yeah.
So I was with a bunch of like nurses and stuff in that class. I realized I couldn't be a doctor because it made me real queasy looking at all the things.
Wait, what did you get to dissect? Or not get to dissect? What did you have to dissect?
So excited. We did sheep eyeballs.
Really?
Which like.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. They don't look like eyeballs anymore because they've been like soaked and stuff.
Did it have like long strings in the back, like in SpongeBob when he like turns his eyes around in the back of his head?
Yeah, I sat in the back of the classroom and my TA would bring stuff in on a tray and he brought in human brain and he looks like all the way across at me and he goes, "She looks like she's gonna pass out. Maybe I shouldn't bring this back there." And he starts walking towards me and he goes, "She's definitely gonna pass out."
Did you have to like sit down? Oh my God.
I literally was like holding my nose and like just like trying to breathe.
No, I literally like, it was maybe junior year? I don't know what year in high school we had to dissect like baby pigs. And what's the is it formaldehyde? Is that yeah?
It's still so strong.
It was so strong, and I was like, you know, it's fine, whatever. But then when we opened up, we got to the heart, and it was like the thin, tiny little it might have been the jugular vein or something. I literally had to sit down, like my vision was like I can't do this.
Yeah, it really tells you who is like cut out for it and who's not. They were like, they could clock me as an engineer. They were like, "We know you're the engineer."
You're like, you're the imposter among them.
Because all the nurses were so interested in it, and they were like, "This is great," and I'm like, I gotta go lay down.
What's the FE exam?
Can I grab my phone real quick?
Yeah. Is it still recording? Because I have this fear that someone's gonna make a phone call while it's going, and I won't notice, and then it's gonna cut, and I'm speaking to nothing.
Okay. Do you want to ask a question again? Mm-hmm. Then I can. I have
so, Megan, tell me about the FE exam for engineering.
Okay. So there's the FE exam and then there's the PE exam.
Okay.
So FE, I looked it up, is the Fundamentals of Engineering exam. And then there's the Professional Licensed Engineer, which is PE. It should just be Professional Engineer, but it's fine. So the FE is more like, a lot of people will get it, like a lot of civil engineers and mechanical engineers get it because you have to have that before you can get the PE, which the PE is used if you want to do like consulting. So you have to have that like certification and stuff. The FE, it's hard to, because I wanted to go into research. So like I did the GRE and like.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask about that. Shoot, okay, GRE too. Tell me.
Talk about that. But then I might need to take the FE now because I want to go into industry.
Oh yeah.
So mechanical, like it's a specialized test towards what you have learned in your degree. So like mechanicals have like a specialized one, civil, like I think they're different. I'm so sorry if this is wrong. But yeah, it's like a basic test. You end up studying for like, if people do like 4 to 6 months beforehand. You usually take it right after you graduate, and then you have to train with a licensed PE engineer for, there's a certain amount of years you have to train under them before you can take the professional engineer exam and then be fully certified. So, but like you don't have to do either exam, like if you don't want to go into consulting or like own your own like business, if you just want to like work under people.
So it's not like the bar exam where it's like required of lawyers, for example. It's just okay.
Yeah, people work without it. And especially if you're going into like research, you don't need it. It's more for industry. So if you want to go into research and you want to like apply for a master's or a PhD, you have to take the GRE. I took it, did horribly. Nah, like average.
What kinds of questions? Is it like just all around like what? I can't even come up with a fake engineering question.
Well, there's like an algebra section. So it spans a ton of math, like from like algebra to like calculus. And then there's like a writing section and there's a reading section. So it's almost like the SATs.
Okay.
It's a lot like the SATs. And then they do have specialized GRE tests, like if you want to do like a specialized in science one or specialized in engineering, like depending on what the school requires of you, there's different tests you can take.
Okay.
The test takes hours. Like you're in there for like 5-6 hours taking it.
Do they give like a few breaks, or is there like one big break in between?
Well, the thing is, they don't like stop you and be like, here's a break. You have to take breaks while the exam. Either you have to finish that section, you can take a break in the middle, but then you're losing that time. So you only have a set amount of time. I kind of rushed through mine. I was just like, I didn't feel as prepared as I like could have been. I studied all summer for it. I still feel like that wasn't enough. Like I should have brushed more up on like algebra stuff.
I am glad I don't have to do the GRE. I'm not gonna lie. Ooh, okay, so I feel like this is a stereotype for a lot of STEM majors and stuff. It's disproportionately like there's a lot of men and a lot less women in the field. So like what's been your experience with that, and like have you like faced gender discrimination and stuff? Like how's that been?
Yeah. When I was in mechanical, there was a class, like all my classes were like 50 people. It was usually 2 or 3 women in the entire class. The ratio was much different than when I switched to biomed. It was pretty much 50-50. In the mechanical classes, I think the like discrimination was a little bit worse, just because you'd go to answer a question and a guy would talk over you. You'd give an answer and they'd be like, you're wrong, it's the like
Man, did they like mansplain?
Yeah, and not like validating that you actually know things, or you'd get a better grade than them and they'd blame it on just because you're a girl. I'm like, they don't care about that. The teachers don't care.
So on to something less discouraging. What is like a week in your life to kind of like show like that work life and schoolwork kind of balance? If you had to kind of just go through what a week looks like for you, what would it be?
I'll go through this semester. So I try not to do any work on the weekends. Sometimes isn't realistic, like on exam week or something.
Yeah.
I also try to get everything done by 5 or 6 p.m., which I know a lot of people like to do their homework later in the night or like after they've already done something, but I need to get it done so I can just relax after.
If it's like 8 p.m., I need to, no, like my brain just shuts off and I cannot.
Yeah, I can't like keep reading or doing math at like 10 p.m. It's gonna be wrong.
Okay.
Like, there's no way it's gonna be right. This semester, actually, Monday, Wednesday, Friday are my undergraduate classes. So I'm gonna be doing capstone, like my final biomed project, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Classes take about 3-4 hours a day. And then homework will take an hour or 2. On like busy exam weeks, I probably spend 40 hours a week studying, doing homework, but on like a easier week it's probably 2 hours a day.
Yeah
Not horrible. So that's 5 hours of my day. And then I also had a job for a while last year, so I would do that 10-15 hours a week, so that would be another hour or 2 during the day. And then I would try to take the rest of the time to get outside, take my dog for a walk, hang out with friends, trying to like regain that work-life balance that I felt like I had kind of lost almost during COVID, because like you couldn't have that, so I just focused right on school.
Do you feel like this is that like kind of abnormal, do you think, for most engineers, like being able to be this proactive and like getting things done before this time in the evening, or like you're definitely in the minority of students that are able to do that?
I'll do work between classes, I'll do work before classes. I just want to get it done as soon as I can. But I know there's kids who like would rather go to lunch and hang out with their friends during the day, and then at night they'll do their work before they go to bed. Which, like, if that works for them, that's perfect. For me, I'd rather hang out with friends later at night or have that time to like wind down and relax.
Because then you're not stressed as you're doing it. Because it's like, yes, everything's done. I can just chill. Yeah.
And then I also try to like bring in some like more artistic things to kind of balance out the harshities of engineering. It's a lot and it's draining. And then if you can bring like almost something creative to supplement that, it makes it more tolerable. So I like to paint, draw, stuff like that.
Stickers.
Make stickers.
I still have it as copy-pasted pre-med community from the last time I did this. Well, we kind of talked about that. Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah.
There's a lot of kids who go from, instead of doing a biology track, they do biomedical engineering into, that's their pre-med.
Interesting.
And then they're able to go to med school right after. Cut.
Do you really? Oh my gosh, did you really?
We're back.
How do you feel like the classroom experience compares to like when you're actually doing your work, when you're doing like in the lab doing stuff? Do you feel like it's very different from what you learn in lecture and, you know, your classroom activities?
I think there's a lot of classes that have like a lab experience. There's
Someone's here.
are they gonna listen to us?
Oh my gosh. Hello. I just hope they don't come to the door. Should I
This is a
close
good
the door
time to
quickly so
think.
we can't see us?
You can crawl over.
I know. There's moose.
He's on the chair.
Okay. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm getting so distracted right now.
There's a lot going on. Okay. Question.
Oh,
It
classroom
was-
experience versus like real life.
I think it's quite different. I think they prepare you well. So a lot of engineering classes are theory or equation based. And so like if you're taking like a fluid dynamics class, do I need to explain what fluids is?
I'm just like taking it all on like engineering jargon.
Fluids is how water flows through like a pipe or something, and how like when water's going through, the edges like almost pull back the water because there's friction, and the middle runs
Okay.
faster.
Is that shear?
Yeah.
Yes! I know something.
So fluid dynamics is that, but you're only working with equations. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's very separated from what you would be doing like working as a plumber or something, because they're more working with the materials that create the system and you're more working with the fluids that are moving through it. So during the class you get all the equations, you get the theories, you understand it, and then some of the classes are nice where at the end they'll do a final project. And like in this class we did a final project and we had to make an entire well system, like a water pump. Like how would you get water from an outdoor well into the house pumped in?
Wow.
You have to list all the parts that you would use, and you have to calculate all the fluid flow through it.
Oh my gosh, that's impressive that you're able to, that's so cool.
I like that one. Was really fun.
Wow.
So like classes like that, you got the theory, the equations, and you got the application. So that prepared us well. Other classes not so much. Like in calculus, you're not going to get any application. Like you're just learning theory. So I think as you go on, by the time you get to senior year, you do get a lot of that. But I don't think it prepares you for any specific job. You're going to get into the field and they're going to have to train you. But at least you know the background.
Yeah. And then, oh my gosh, we only have 3 more questions. And these are like the more metaphysical ones. Do you have any regrets?
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't think I would have gone into biomed.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love anatomy. I love
Yeah.
everything about it. And I think it worked out really well for me, the path that I chose. But I didn't realize that mechanical, you can also do medical devices. You can also work on nanomaterials and do more like chemistry-based
Yeah.
stuff. And if I would have known that mechanical wasn't just machines, I probably would have stayed in it. And then I would have graduated in 4 years instead of 6.
Yeah. So I guess this would probably tie in with that, like, advice for someone who's kind of entering into engineering and like kind of figuring out what they want to do. But like I guess if you just had any general advice for someone who's going into engineering starting out, like what would you tell them?
I think on the flip side, I would say don't be afraid to switch.
Yeah.
Because your freshman and sophomore year, all the classes are so like generalized and pretty much the same thing for each engineering division. They're all going to be similar classes. You have it up until like your end of your sophomore year to switch.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of people get stuck in it and they're like, well, I've been in here for 2 years. Like, I don't really love it. Maybe I would like this more. Just switch. And also if you have to take one more semester, I feel like people are so stuck in I have to graduate in 4 years, I have to get my full degree only in 4 years, that they like overwork themselves and limit themselves to something that they might not actually love. Like I've seen so many people switch and take maybe an extra year or something, but they end up finding the career that
it's worth exploring and taking the time. Sorry, I just like totally interrupted
no. And you know that you've switched. Like
I was literally global studies and then like environmental. Well, I wanted to do geographical sciences, but then I realized, oh shoot, they're getting rid of that major, and then they're combining it with environmental science. So then I did environmental science and declared that, and then I was like, I don't know, I liked it, but it just wasn't. I don't know. So here I am with creative writing. Years later, like barely scraping through senior year. With, like I might have to take extra classes senior year, but you know.
That'd be fun. Pack it in. I mean, I'm gonna be doing half grad classes, half
I know, that's
undergrad.
gonna be so insane.
I'm gonna have so much. I'm gonna be so busy.
It's gonna be very chaotic.
3 grad courses. Like most people only take 2 grad courses a semester.
Yeah.
When they're in grad school.
You'll be doing 3.
3 plus capstone.
Plus. Oh my gosh.
You won't see me for the next year.
Yeah. Well, Megan will just be gone
behind my computer, like studying.
And then finally, so like considering all the factors, pros, cons, and everything, like would you say that engineering is definitely worth it?
I think it depends on your personality.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're very like solution driven, you like problems, I always think of engineering as like a puzzle. You're working hard to put all these pieces together and solve this like overall puzzle, but maybe you weren't given all the tools, so you have to make your own puzzle pieces.
Yeah.
Like, it's giving you the tools to solve any type of problem.
Yeah.
And if you like science, you like math, creative people do well in it too.
Yeah, because you gotta like be able to be resourceful and think outside the box to come up with these strategies. And
Yeah.
that's interesting. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah, so I think if that's your mindset and you're okay with working hard and like pushing through those 4 years of school, I think it's a good choice.
Okay.
Do engineering, it's fun. And you meet a lot of great people.
Yeah.
Everyone's super sweet. I've met so many like my close friends.
And you get to have, what's the dance called?
Sweet formal.
Sweet formal.
Oh yeah, if you're a woman in engineer, join the Society of Women Engineers.
At UMaine.
It's national.
Wait, what?
It's
Oh, it's like, okay, like
yeah.
you happen to go to this one call.
It's a national organization, and it's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. That is so cool. Wow, look at me assuming things. Yeah, so I think that's it. Was there anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was like informative about engineering and just a lot of fun.
I'll answer questions in the comments if you guys have any.
Ooh, yes, so like ask questions. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.